Are you ready for my top 2 NFL bets for Week 11? We killed it last week by posting a 4-2 record on sides and totals, while we presented a great 4-1 record on player proposition bets. Speaking of prop bets, I have mentioned in my recent TV and radio interviews how they are the most exploitable lines in order to beat sportsbooks. In fact, NFL prop bets have generated a 43-26 record so far this season. If you had risked just 1 unit per wager, you would have racked up 12.20 units of profit. Prop bets in the NHL have yielded an 11-7 record, while in the NBA we have obtained 13 wins and 6 losses. As you can see, such wager types can be very rewarding. If you would like to receive all of those picks, you can still sign up for a membership at mjpigs.com, a platform where we have more than 200 smart sports bettors receiving all of my betting tips via email and SMS. Alright, let's get down to business. My first official NFL pick for Week 11 is the San Francisco 49ers team total to go over 26.5 points. Suppose you would have placed that bet in each of San Francisco's 9 games this season. By doing so, you would have picked up 6 wins and 3 losses. However, here is where it gets interesting. In 2 of the 3 losses, more specifically in weeks 7 and 8, both Deebo Samuel and star left tackle Trent Williams were out of the lineup due to injuries. These 2 key parts of the offense were back last week against Jacksonville, and the Niners ended up putting 34 points on the board against a very decent Jaguars defense on the road. In other words, San Francisco's offense has generated more than 26 points in 6 of the 7 games they played with Deebo and Trent Williams suiting up. Now, what can we expect from the 49ers offense this weekend? First of all, they are at home, so that will make things easier for Brock Purdy and company. They will be up against Tampa's defense that has been okay but not great this season. Indeed, their defensive unit currently ranks 8th in terms of points allowed per game, but they are likely to regress given how they rank 24th in yards allowed per game. They seem to have been helped by many turnovers, 16 in total. That's unlikely to occur against San Francisco, that has the 6th fewest giveaways in the NFL this season. Everybody seems pretty healthy on San Francisco's offense, so I expect them to roll at Levi's Stadium on Sunday. So again, the official wager I made was San Francisco's team total to go over 26.5 points in Week 11 against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Let's continue with my second NFL pick after this super short break. My second NFL bet for Week 11 is the Jacksonville Jaguars laying 6.5 points at home against Tennessee. The Jags got smashed 34-3 against the 49ers last week. I still believe Jacksonville is a solid team, and that will only motivate them to do well against a divisional foe. The traveling factor also gives a huge edge to Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, the Titans will be on the road for the 3rd straight week, while the Jags will be at home for the 3rd consecutive week, including their bye week. Talk about a big difference. Jacksonville will be much better rested. The Titans' offensive line is broken. They have allowed the 4th most sacks in the league. 2 of their starters are currently listed as questionable: left tackle Andre Dillard and right guard Daniel Brunskill. After a spectacular starting debut, quarterback Will Levis has been fading. He tossed 4 TD passes in his first outing against the Falcons, but over his next 2 matches, he got 0 TD pass versus 2 interceptions. He also completed just 52.5% of his passes in those 2 recent games. He's doing the best he can, but poor offensive line play has been making life difficult for him. Tennessee lost both meetings with the Jaguars last year, so since I am a believer in the revenge factor, that worries me a little bit. Still, I have decided to put my hard-earned money on the Jaguars to defeat the Titans by a margin of at least 7 points this weekend. Stick around if you would like to hear about a few unofficial picks, also called leans, in just a few seconds. In the Thursday night game, my numbers are telling me to consider grabbing the Bengals first half money line. At the time I made the video, Bet365 had the highest line at plus 165, while most others had a line varying between plus 145 and plus 150. I am strongly considering pulling the trigger here. In Week 2, the Ravens defeated the Bengals 27-24 in Cincinnati. According to the revenge factor, taking Cincy is the best option. However, I am concerned about a couple of things. First, T. Higgins has been ruled out again, which limits the offense a little bit. You need all the weapons at your disposal when facing this fierce Ravens defense. Secondly, Baltimore will be well rested after being at home for the 3rd week in a row. Both teams are coming off a disappointing loss last week. Joe Burrow is playing great football since being fully recovered from a calf injury, so I think the Bengals can certainly keep this game close. So, as stated earlier, I am tempted to take the big odds on the first half money line, or I might elect to simply take the full game spread of plus 4 points. My second lean would go to the Chicago Bears as 9-point underdogs in Detroit. Justin Fields is expected to be back on the field for the Bears. In his first 3 games, he threw 3 TD passes versus 4 interceptions. After that, he totaled 4 TD passes compared to just 2 picks. He was on a roll before getting hurt. Don't get me wrong, I do believe the Lions have a solid football team. But to me, this spread is a bit too high. I am projecting Detroit to win by a margin between 3 and 7 points, so I think Chicago covers here. The Bears' defense has improved the quality of his play recently. Adding pass rusher Montez Sweat has certainly helped give them a boost. If you take away Chicago's first 3 games of the season, they have lost by more than 7 points only once in 7 games. I like their chances of keeping it close against a divisional opponent. Hey, would you like a third lean? It's coming right up. My third unofficial pick goes to Buffalo minus 7 points against the Jets. Right off the bat, I think the firing of offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey will motivate the Bills. In my opinion, Dorsey was doing a poor job and he was certainly not extracting the best out of his players. Also, the Bills are going to be pissed after a stunning loss on primetime television against the lowly Broncos. One more reason why Buffalo will be ultra motivated is the fact that they lost the season opener 22-16 in overtime against those same Jets. It's going to be payback time. The Jets are coming off a game in which they had to travel across the country to face the Las Vegas Raiders. I know New York's defense is great, but Zach Wilson has thrown just 1 TD pass over his past 5 games, which is literally embarrassing. I am not excited enough by this bet to place an actual wager right now, but I might change my mind later during the week. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, the prop bet picks across the NFL, the NHL, and the NBA have produced 67 wins versus 39 losses, a 63% winning percentage. We have racked up a ton of profit at mjpicks.com. In fact, over the past 14 weeks, we have produced 11 weeks with a winning record versus just 3 weeks where we suffered some losses. This is my personal invitation to help you grow your sports betting bankroll with our community of smart sports bettors at mjpicks.com. Cheers, my friend!